Actually, no, let me walk around with it behind you. I feel like that'd be better, really. That way just gets that stick off and can go.
That guy, I've seen him outside Pen Down and Troop like Keir Starmer's pissing himself.
Just can I remind everyone at the time we're doing it back at the end. There are signs there for the taking. So if anyone wants a megaphone, we've got a box full of them. Please take them so we don't have to carry them on the train. We've got megaphones for you to take. We've got signs for you to buy. Please grab them and make your voices heard.
Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to another live stream. Just get my mic. Can everyone in the chat just let me know if you can hear and see me okay? Just let me know, as always, if the mic is working, just so I can make sure you guys can hear me and see me all right before we get started. Hi Wes, it's been a while since I've seen you.
Hello, man.
How are you doing?
Good, man.
Oh, it's been ages. Where'd you come from? Did you come on your own?
Yeah. I've just been with the studio session.
Everyone's here, Glenn's over there as well. Yeah, so hello everyone. So we are in central London. We are outside Downing Street, and just behind me is the protest against digital ID. It started at 6. There's been some music. I haven't started until now because if I'd started when the music was playing, I would have got copyrighted the moment I went live. So yeah, we're just waiting for some speeches to start. And yeah, so guys in the chat, for the meantime, let me know what you think of digital ID. Let me know if you've signed the petition, and let me know if you will comply.
We've hardened our hearts, and now we are. Everyone in the Old Testament, you'll read the Old Testament and say it's the most egregious, most severe punishments by God. I think the punishment that we're living in is pretty severe also. No shots fired, no stones and fire rocks coming out of the sky. I think we're being punished. We need to start having more children. We need to admit we got it wrong. Listen, they've come here and they've tried it on. They wanted a piece of the action. Now they say, actually, do you know what? We can take we can take your women and children. You're too far. We can take over. So they're trying it on. So I say the fight's on, right? Let's fight back.
Because you all feel right there with them come, the Palestinians. Don't you ever see the
Decent turnout so far, guys. Oh, sorry, the camera just got knocked.
You do the math on how many flights and ships that is a day. It's going to get very nasty in the UK, and you're going to need a wartime leader who isn't going to back down from the fight.
That's you, Nick. How are you going to deal with wokeism in school, and particularly the indoctrination of the young into all this woke ideology, which are, raising a new generation of all these into all these weird ideologies? How would you deal with the education?
Oh, did someone say the petition is at 3 million now?
Yeah. I'm in London. Alright. What? I want the big gate. Alright.
Someone's going with the megaphone right outside.
Time for the spade kick. Spade kick.
You okay?
Hey, you're right. Been away.
Back at it. Round two.
Apologies to headphone users. Anyone who's using headphones, all of the speeches are done through big PA systems and megaphones and things, so if you are listening through headphones, I would just advise turning your volume down.
From the Public Order Act that aims to stifle free speech, to now digital ID, and to what's happened a few days ago, where they will now, if you protest more than once in the same area, they will come after you and tell you you can no longer protest there. And if you ignore that advice, they will arrest you. Is this a democratic country? Is this a free society? Now, I'm going to move the speaker there a second.
That was Nick Senconi, by the way.
I'm not going to do it, Tommy. He started the demo a little bit raspy, didn't he? Now, I'm going to also say that this is bigger than a left or right issue. Now, recently, I've had Norwich anti-fascists. Now, I've not got on with the anti-fascists, as many of you may know. They've counter-protested against me for years. But they came and they supported me on this issue when I came out against this issue. They came and supported me when I talked about my arrest. My arrest for affray and for allegedly saying, foreign filth. I was arrested and charged and looking at 2 years in prison. They came and supported me for that. And I've noticed recently that left-wing groups are organising demonstrations against digital ID. And do you know what? I'm going to stand with them. Because while I disagree with them on 99% of everything else, this is something every single one of us needs to unite on. That's what I'm trying to do today. As many of you may know, about 8 different organisations have come together for this protest. And there's actually 4 unofficial ones. But for the next demonstration, which we're doing in February, on a Saturday, don't worry, on a Saturday with a stage, there'll be even more organisations. It is time to unite the entire country. Now, I have been organising demonstrations for years, for absolutely years. And what I've noticed is, so recently, we've been organising demonstrations against the Brook Migrant Hotel in Norwich. And in Norwich, what they've done is, they arrested me and Luke Sharman on the morning of the biggest protest that Norwich had ever seen. Over 1,500 people turned up. And what they did is they arrested me and they arrested Luke. They banned us from going near any migrant hotels. A couple of weeks later, they arrest the other organiser. They arrest Glenn Taffer. After that, they arrest Cameron and countless other people who became organisers because they kept nicking them. But the thing is, they don't even need to charge people when they arrest them. What they do is, they arrest them for something like inciting racial hatred. And without charging them, they release them without charge under suspicion of committing the act. But they put them on bail conditions that prohibit them from attending or organising any demonstrations. So let me get this straight. In a so-called free society, we are being arrested, released without charge and banned from organising or attending any demonstrations. Is this what freedom looks like? No! It's not. And so we are going to continue to fight this. Today was a start. I'm shocked there are 200 people here on a Monday evening standing with us against digital IDs. A lot of you may be disheartened with the numbers, but I tell you what, this is only the beginning. In February, we need a little bit longer to actually organise a proper campaign. In February, we are coming back and we are reclaiming our country from the tyrannical oligarchs. Now, before I give a proper speech, because no, you're not done with me yet, I'm going to give the stage to, is Sophie here? Sophie!
Here she comes.
She's coming.
Perfect. So I'm going to give the stage to Sophie Corcoran. She's worked with some fantastic people. She's a writer and political commentator. Can everyone give her a round of applause, please? Thank you.
Before I begin, I thought I'd just show you my perfect picture. Very relevant, guys, very relevant. So, guys, it's really good to see you. I'm not really actually a person that comes and speaks at many protests, to be honest. I think this is probably the first one I've ever spoken at. But James asked and I said yes, so I suppose here we go. Apologies if I suck. But the thing I was thinking, when you hear of a country where they arrest people for straying from the government's narrative, that censors speech online, that they use the courts to silence people, that it controls what people eat and what they drink, and uses digital surveillance, most of you, rightly so probably, would think that I'm speaking about North Korea.
Oh, China.
But I'm not. I'm speaking about the UK. Right here, right now. We're seeing people be arrested for causing anxiety. A mother was sentenced to 31 months in prison for a tweet that she deleted. A woman with cancer had police turn up at her house and demand that she apologise to someone for offending them, or she'll be facing arrest. And a man was arrested in the dead of the night for daring to tweet the meme that said "fuck Hamas." This isn't China. It isn't Iran. No, it's Britain. We were told that the Online Safety Act would protect children from pornography and violence. Instead, it's been used to censor protests, censor political speech online, and even censor some messages from our elected members of parliament. We've seen Section 14 orders be used at protests like in Epping. I know many of you have probably interacted with that at some point. And we've seen people arrested for silently praying in their heads. And now, in Nando's, if you ever go to Nando's, if you like Nando's, there is a sign that says you are only allowed to drink 1 glass of Coca-Cola due to new government laws. So, in essence, the government now polices everything. It polices what you think, what you say, and even what you drink. And yet, the most dangerous intrusion of all, the one thing that ties all of those things together, and the one reason why, of course, we are all here, is because of digital ID. But we're told it's to crack down on illegal working. That's nonsense. We have national insurance numbers that do that already. The issue isn't the system, it's political will and a lack of enforcement. If the government truly cared about cracking down on illegal working, they would go after the likes of Uber Eats and Deliveroo, who openly hire illegal workers, instead of forcing law-abiding citizens who have done nothing wrong into a grid of digital surveillance. They say it's about convenience and efficiency, but convenience must never come at the cost of our liberty, ever. And I will say that one more time. Convenience must never come at the cost of liberty, and this is exactly what is going to happen here. A digital ID isn't just a passport on your phone. It's a gateway to constant monitoring, tracking where you go, what you buy, what you read, and what you think. And we already know the government polices that quite harshly. We've seen this happen elsewhere. in China is tied to a social credit system. In the EU, it's being linked to bank accounts and digital wallets. Once that infrastructure exists, it never stays voluntary for long. Today it's about security, it's about efficiency, but tomorrow it will be about compliance and it will be about control. Just think, who remembers the COVID passes? They began as a temporary health measure. But as we know in politics, nothing's ever temporary. And they quickly become conditions of everyday life. And they said to us, it's your choice. It's your choice if you want this, but if you don't do it, we're going to force you out of your job, we're going to ban you from seeing your friends, we're going to ban you from seeing your family, and we're not going to let you go out to places. But don't forget, it's still your choice. They were never our choice. And digital ID, once it's normalised, there's nothing to stop a future government linking them to your tax records, social media, or even your bank account access. And now it's already easier enough to get arrested for what you tweet online. Just imagine when they have the records of our names and our addresses at their disposal so easily. We're all going to end up in the slammer reading 1984. And let's not forget, of course, that our government has an absolutely terrible record on protecting our own data. I mean, this is the government where there was NHS data leaks, lost laptops, and we even gave information to the Taliban. This government has proved time and time again that it just cannot be trusted with our personal information. And yet it wants to now control a centralised digital database for every citizen in Britain. No, we do not trust them with this kind of power. In fact, we should not trust any government with this kind of power, no matter who they claim to be. And we're not alone. Nearly 3 million people have already signed a petition against digital ID. So there might not be many of us here, but there's many, many more of us out there. And you know something is a problem when us of the right wing are agreeing with Jeremy Corbyn. But the government, as expected so far, have ignored everyone, as they usually do, because they have no respect for democracy. But as Margaret Thatcher once warned, we must always be aware of the enemy within, which is much more difficult to fight and far more dangerous for our liberty.
I would never touch the shores.
The greatest threat to our freedom doesn't come from a foreign power. It comes from our own government. From a government that believes that people are to be managed and not served. From politicians who think they have the right to control everything that we do. From how many glasses of Coke we drink at a Nando's. My friends, this isn't about technology, it's about trust and it's about freedom and it's about the kind of country that we want to leave to our children. Because once our identity becomes digital, our freedom is gone forever. So let's all draw a good line under it today. I don't care who the fuck you voted for in the past. I don't care if you're UKIP, I don't care if you're the British Communist, to be fair, the British Communists will be cheering this on. I don't care if you're Labour. Let's work together and say no to digital ID.
They say that digital ID, as Sophie touched on there, they say that digital ID is to stop illegal workers in the UK. Well, there's a very simple solution. Deport! It's not difficult. It's something that us conspiracy theorists have been screaming about for years. She also mentioned COVID passes. Well, did you know the Nazis had something called the Gesundheit pass? Yep. It's got a health passport. Exactly the same thing. But I'm going to welcome the stage now to someone that you may all know very well, and that is Nick Tinconi, the leader of UKIP. Louder. I think it's dusk. It's night time. It's a good job I got blessed with good eyes. What a fantastic crowd. Give yourself a round of applause, everyone. You've come out. I might just camp here. I might just live here. I won't move in here because all the speeches are happening from here. So look, we know that he's not going to listen. He doesn't care. Did you guys know that Keir Starmer wants to bring in digital ID to stop the boats? We might as well laugh about it, guys. We know what's coming, right? And there's a chance he might be listening as well. My activist team and I have done more to stop the boats in only a matter of days, funded with only a few quid and armed with a set of balls than any establishment party has ever done over the last 2 decades. You know when Starmer's lying, don't you? His lips move. Now to the subject of tyranny. I remember around 5.5 years ago, I was told when I could and couldn't go out. I was told when I could and couldn't work. I was told I would have to get a loan, and I was asked to pay interest on that loan to survive. I was told to stand 2 meters away from my fellow citizens, and I was asked to clap at the sky. I observed glorious sunshine and blue skies never before seen in England, fairly consistently for what seemed like endless months, and every single news piece, absolutely everywhere, was far-left propaganda telling me that all white, straight Christian men were bad and were the source of all evil, and that the left, the Islamists and non-whites could behave however they wanted, whenever they wanted, as long as it was in the name of fighting oppression, standing up to racism, objecting to our history, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, their ace in the hole, fighting for minority rights. As a blue-blooded conservative, it is in my nature to not trust the government. After the lockdown files, not only does my inertia tell me not to trust the government, but also to not believe a word they say. It has been made so demonstrably clear that the political agenda is far left and totalitarian in orientation. I am on record as saying we have clearly been living under left-wing fascism for so very long in modern Britain. Frankly, it's one of the most depressing political topics I have to engage in. Britain has been under left-wing authoritarian rule for decades. The ugly truth is that the vast majority of social conservative voters still don't understand this. There is only one hope. There is only one way out. The solution is but one. You must become a political activist. You must become a party member. You must stand and win as a candidate in your area, and you must contribute to returning a parliamentary majority in the general election, and put me in place in that building over there. Put me in place as your country's leader, and I swear, patriots, on everything that's holy, I will declare war on the deep state. I will declare war on our corrupt government. I will declare war on far-left extremism, communism and Islamofascism, as well as beginning mass deportations and remigration of those people who do not belong here. In the spirit of fairness, let us ask ourselves, patriots, what is digital ID for? My first instincts remind me that I have a national insurance number, a passport, a tax code, a unique tax reference, and probably about 50 other forms of identification. NHS number. My instincts tell me that when I was hunting invaders in northern France, these people travelled 2,500 miles, jumping from country to country, and our governments have no issue with this and with spending and offering our taxpayer cash to welcome and support them. I notice also the establishment refuses to deploy the military into the channel to intercept and destroy the boats. Keir Starmer, tell me again that digital ID is designed to stop the boats, you lying scumbag. Recently, my accountant emailed, and I've got a very good relationship with him, even though he's my accountant. He emailed me telling me I had to confirm my identity to the revenue. Now, for those of you who aren't self-employed, we tend to refer to the Inland Revenue in a derogatory sense, so we call them just the revenue. Self-employed people will know full well these people are basically a mafia and live to ensure you and I comply or are heavily fined. Like many British institutions, the revenue is not only incredibly well financed, but also has endless resource. They are a state asset and are in no way a friend of what built Britain, and describes the rags to riches story perhaps the best. That's the story of the family-run and owned SME. That's the small medium enterprises, guys. The start-up businesses. I believe he said the digital app is called One Login, and it is a gov.co.uk product. Now, I have been told in no uncertain terms that should I not verify my ID through this app, heavy fines will follow and that there is no escape. So let us now turn our heads to what the purpose of digital ID is as described by the government. The government have said the following: the card can be used to identify yourself to law enforcement. What do we think of that?
Well, they already know where we are. Thanks.
The government have said the following: the card can be used to identify yourself to law enforcement. Do you mean like a driving license? Do you mean like facial recognition? The government have said the card gives you easier access to public services. What, you mean like becoming Muslim? The card, it gets better, guys. The card helps protect people against identity fraud. The government cares about us. The government cares about our bank balances. Do you know how much they care about our bank balances and our hard work and our blood, sweat and tears? They tax us into oblivion. Now, I just heard from a gentleman who I've never met that apparently this has all been demoed. Test case beta testing, Vietnam, believe he said the 1st of September. 86 million bank accounts were frozen to those who didn't comply. Now, I can't verify the individual. He gave me his time, I spoke to him. You all know I'm at street level. You're welcome, sir. And we very quickly got onto the fact that this is biblical. Any Christians here? In terms of background, guys, national ID, for those of you who don't know, was finally abolished in 1952. Progressivism, modernity, we're going backwards. It was abolished in 1952. You guessed it, it was abolished because populist governments decided it was being viewed as authoritarian and used to crush civil liberties. Guess which politician and which party reintroduced the scheme?
It's always fucking Labour.
Tony Blair and his new Labour, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, for good measure, it is the Tony Blair Institute which has been pushing the idea of digital ID.
And it's also his son's app.
For years as well. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
That's spot on.
So, we know about good politicians and bad politicians over the years, guys. We know about good decisions and bad decisions. There have been some very few good decisions. But in closing, we all know why we're here. Patriots. The petition was made and it got 100 trillion billion signatures. What's Keir Starmer going to do with that? He's going to wipe his ass with it, is what he's going to do. They're laughing at us. Petitions work, pressure works, lobbying works, think tanks work. Here's one for you. The Big Brother Watch have issued a statement strongly urging the government to rethink, and as usual, we the voter, the taxpayer, we remain outraged and no change comes about whatsoever. Now, Ronald Reagan said, evil is powerless if the good are unafraid.
We need one of you, Maggie.
We need more than Thatcher, mate. We need more than Thatcher. What do we know about the good in Britain, patriots? Is it afraid? Are the silent majority, the masses, are we afraid? Once again, I am commanded to force you, patriots, to face the realities about the battle we are in. You cannot convert liberal mindsets, nor communists, nor Islamo-fascists. You cannot convert narcissistic personality disorder, prideful, hardened hearts. You are wasting your time trying to save them. We are also out of time. We also cannot wait for another establishment stooge to disappoint us and sell us out to the highest bidder. If we want our country back, patriots, we are going to have to take it back. Because, patriots, you have to fight to keep your freedom. The left always want the government to have more power over our freedoms. The approach of the lefty voter is to do it slowly, over time, accepting that change is indeed slow and often with no shots fired. Indeed, the transfer of power from the people to the government is the incredibly grave matter with which we are now addressing, and why we are here today. And for those of you taking digital ID to the grave, that this is the hill that you die on, this is your campaign, the grave matter that we are discussing is the voluntary offering of our power to the state, unopposed, with no resistance. That's what the message is, and we must confront it. Tell us what you really think, mate. In conclusion, people actually, genuinely, have clapped at the sky, all joking aside. The greatest problem, patriots, we have is the void of courage and, of course, political apathy and indifference on the socially conservative right. Men and women must stand up and fight. The issue we have, and the key ingredient required to fight back against socialist tyranny, is a single unit point of command on the socially conservative right, simply does not exist. For too long, patriots and concerned citizens, it simply hasn't been an option available to the socially conservative voters. They have had no one to vote for. How many times have you heard it? I've got no one to vote for. Or if they are registered to vote and they are going to vote, they turn round and say, who did you vote for? And you say, I voted for the least worst option. I promise you, if that mindset stays, if the coward bending of the knee, indifference, apathy stays, the corrupt liberal elite will continue to have their wicked way with us, without so much as flowers and dinner. This is not the end, patriots. This is just the beginning. What has been trialled again and again is us leaving it to the liberal elites to protect us. How's that worked out, patriots? How's it worked out leaving the men in suits, the liberal elites, the millionaires and the billionaires? How's that worked out protecting our women and children? How's it worked out protecting our borders? It's failed time and time again. All this does, all the outrage, all the hatred, all it does is serve to further flatten the heart rate of patriots' motivation and willingness to defend their land, their church, their freedoms, their women and children, and I'm absolutely sick of it. Pressure through movements, lobbying and protests, all of these work to inspire people, and I fully endorse this approach. A massive thank you before I close to James, who is so far beyond his years, and activists who are so far beyond their years and who are doing so much more than I was doing at 24, 25, 26, albeit a very different time. Pressure works, and I want to thank good people, you guys, media, influencers, streamers, activists, men like James Harvey. I want to thank you so much, because this message gets sent to our brothers and sisters in the UK who have given up hope, and it reignites hope, and that is what brings the fight and wins the battle. So I fully endorse this approach. But patriots, you know me, this must all be converted into political action and behind a political party. You cannot take your country back, and you will not take it back without your political party returning a majority in the general election, patriots. Even after lockdown, if people still do not know their political ideology, and if they still do not know their faith, I am at a loss 5 years on from that awful period as to what to say. But I do know we are fighting for the soul of this nation. There is nothing left but to fight back, patriots. I am your leader, I am your fighter. I will retrieve your freedoms, and I will punish the traitors who have taken them from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. That was awesome speech. Now, before we bring on our next speakers, we've got about 3 or 4 more to go, I believe. I wanted to mention, last week I was invited to a demonstration in Braintree. At this demonstration, Braintree and Colchester. At this demonstration at Braintree and Colchester, the police had issued a Section 14 without any grounds to do so. What this meant was that without any reasonable suspicion, the police were able to dictate the exact location, the exact finish time, the exact start time of the protest. If we didn't listen to this, we would be arrested and would look at prison time. This is not freedom. Now, for those who have followed Nick for years, you may know that he's also the Chief Operating Officer of Turning Point UK. Everyone give them a round of applause. Now, can I bring up David a sec? Now, I'm going to introduce you to our next young speaker, young Bob, who, before he speaks, he wants to introduce something. So everyone give a round of applause for 17-year-old young Bob.
Hello, thank you everyone here today. I think it was deemed appropriate that an organisation that fights for genuine freedom gives a minute for a man who was martyred for it. So could we all give a minute of silence for the one and only Charlie Kirk, who unfortunately had an early passing due to the people that couldn't debate him. Well, on Fighting for Freedom, we have a Prime Minister who is in a bit of a muck right now. He was rhetorically on the right to win over Reform voters, but when he noticed that wasn't going to win, he needed to be seen as the new Labour leader, this sort of Blairite figure. And the best way of doing that is through introducing and developing on a surveillance state. We currently have two failed projects here in the United Kingdom. The failed project of multiculturalism and the failed project of a surveillance state. The same state that prevents me as a 17-year-old from going on Bible Hub because I need ID verification from a third party that stores my data. The same surveillance state that decided to arrest a 17-year-old twice, once for filming a counter-protest and another for a Section 14 of the Public Order Act. A section that controls when you protest, how you protest, and where you protest. Now on my second arrest, whilst halfway through my detention, because they knew it was a trumped up public order offence, they decided to arrest me for a second section, Section 19 of the Public Order Act, which is inciting racial and religious hatred, for saying, deport all economic migrants. Now, if that statement reaches persecution, I don't know what screams like communist China. They originally, under the Conservatives, introduced arbitrarily defined laws to control your civil liberties to protest. Then they began to block explicit material under the guise of protecting young people from pornography. And I can say this anecdotally. Under that legislation, I have not been prevented from looking at explicit material. It is a laughable suggestion that legislation would prevent young people from watching pornography, especially when we have individuals driving along on a bang bus going on about how they're going to have sex with just legally turned 18-year-olds. So we have a state which right now is trying to reform itself as a party that will smash the gangs, even then making the left disenfranchised by a policy that was introduced under New Labour. Then we have on the right our Home Secretary, under the guise of trying to prevent Palestine Action protests, even though a few years ago she was pictured at the very same demonstrations. She is now going to ban reoccurring protests. Everything is being cornered in by the public. Your right to freedom, your right to protest, the right to say whatever you want, and this is the same government which will lose national insurance numbers, then trying to argue that it can introduce digital ID. I will argue this to you, patriots. Digital ID is an incompetent policy brought in by a man that knows he's losing. But come next general election, who will use that system is up for grabs. So we need to make sure that we vote in for a party that vehemently disagrees with a surveillance state. We need to ensure that young people aren't used as a form of justification for a surveillance state. We need to make sure that our elected politicians aren't the slimy political businessmen that they are. And we need to make sure that we say no to digital ID. And I ensure this, ladies and gentlemen, right now I'm on bail until the 30th for 2 charges. And I make sure that regardless of the outcome of those 2 charges, I'll still be here saying whatever the hell I want. Because I believe in a society you should be able to say, unless it incites a degree of violence, whatever the hell you want. And when we have streets that call for a globalized intifada, they decide to pick a 17-year-old who says a very clear message: deport all economic migrants. I will claim one thing about myself. I'm an activist for freedom of speech, both on the left and on the right. I believe the biggest form of multiculturalism is the multiculturalism of ideas. And the party which triumphs of the party of multiculturalism, instead of educating our young people to teach that very fact, they rather decide to import a bunch of doctors and engineers and then argue that that's our best form of multiculturalism. A society that demonizes our opposition isn't a society of multiculturalism. It's of fascism and of a culture that's trying to import communist China because they're at fear of losing. The only reason why they will decide to introduce digital ID is because they know they're at the back end. They know that freedom costs them the general election, so they try to control us. So, if activist organisations continue, if pressure begins to triumph over 10 Downing Street, if protests are consistent, if there's no compliance with digital ID, I promise you, Keir Starmer's reign will come to a very short end. But I always like to end my discussions with an appreciation. If a 17-year-old has to tell you this, you know you're in a real bad state. So thank you so much, have a great day, and God bless you.
Oh, go on, give it another round of applause again, Bob. Does anyone remember what they were doing at 17 years old? Because I can bet it wasn't political activism.
On the face on the weekend.
So, absolutely incredible. We need as many young people standing up as possible. I mean, we've got Nika over there. We have got loads of young people in this crowd tonight. And I can tell you something, young people are awake and they are not taking this digital ID. You know, they are trying at the moment to get digital ID into schools. Even I remember when I was in school, they were trying to get us all fingerprinted to pay for food. Because cash is so inconvenient, right? So yeah, let's just go download these 15 different apps to order something. Disgusting. But I'm going to introduce our next speakers. We've got a few more to go. So Danny Roscoe, coming up. Everyone give him a round of applause.
Thank you, beautiful patriots. Now, I want you to listen closely, because what I'm about to say is not a warning about any future.
It's about a reality that's unfolding right now, right here in Britain. You see, our government is quietly constructing the most powerful system of control that this country has ever seen. And they call it the digital ID. They're going to dress it up as soft language. It's convenient, it's safety, it's for your security. They're going to tell you it's about stopping fraud or streamlining services and making things easier for you. But if we strip all that away, you're going to see it for what it is, and it's the key to the cage. Digital ID is not just a card on your phone, it's a switch, one that can decide whether you can access your bank, your job, your benefits, your healthcare. It's the power to track you where you go, what you buy, who you meet, and ultimately what you say. And once that switch exists, believe me, it's not going to be a question of if it will be used, it will be when. They want you to believe that this is modernism, that the modernisation is not freedom if it means surrendering your autonomy. Progress is not progress if it places a state between you and every decision in your daily life. And while they build this digital cage, look around you, look at the rest of the picture. Our churches, they're once the moral conscience of this country, and they are emptying. Leaders who once spoke truth to power, they now bow before the globalist cartel. And institutions that once defended our liberties, now they auction them off to the highest foreign bidder. And even our faith, we've seen with the Archbishop of Canterbury, is being rewritten. It's being softened, sanitised, and made more compliant. And there's one thing that they didn't plan though, and that is us. Every one of us here. We are the last bastion. We are the front line. We are the people who still believe Britain is worth fighting for. We are the people who refuse to trade liberty for comfort, for truth for lies, and sovereignty over surveillance. We are not extremists for saying no. We are not radicals for demanding that the government serve the people and not rule them. We are heirs to a legacy that says the power must belong to the people, and the government should be afraid of us, not the other way around. So this is our message to every bureaucrat, every minister, every corporate partner building this cage. We see you. We know what you are doing, and we will not comply. And to every patriot here today, this is our moment. This is the line in the sand. And when they roll these IDs out, when they link them to your money, to your movements, to your medical choices, stand firm, refuse the leash, support those who refuse with you, build networks, build communities, build alternatives. Because once that switch is flipped, the resistance is going to be far harder. We will not be barcoded, we will not be catalogued, we will not live under a system that treats free men and women like livestock. Britain has faced tyrants before, and that's from the outside and from within, and every single time it was ordinary people doing ordinary, extraordinary things and rose up together as one and said, no, enough is enough. Now it's our turn. We're drawing the line in the sand. Digital ID is the front line. This is the battleground, and if we stand united with courage, with clarity and with conviction, they will not win. God bless you.
Well said, Danny.
God bless you all.
Hey, thanks for sharing my thing the other day, BB audits, when I got arrested. Sweet brother.
Thank you, James.
Everyone give it up for Danny Roscoe. Now, I believe it's Brendan Kavanagh in the crowd. So, for anyone who doesn't know who Brendan is quite a well-known pianist. And he was accosted, about a couple of years ago now, he was accosted by the CCP for filming in public in the UK, in Britain. What an absolute joke. But, I've said enough, mate. Good luck. Yeah, you too, mate. It's very good too.
Thank you, James. Well, first of all, I am absolutely heartened and delighted by the people here. When I look at protests on YouTube and social media, I see chaos, I see drama, I see Antifa, I see all sorts of crazies, but here I see patriots who are beautifully polite, who are reasonable, who are intelligent, and who just want their country back. Now, to be honest, I actually feel this is not a right-wing or a left-wing issue. I think this is an issue that unites everyone. The right and the left wing, to be honest, is a false dichotomy. The digital ID is for us all. It is a first step in a biometrical prison system designed to go with the central bank digital currencies, which they have all planned out when our economy collapses within the next several years. Once they've got the digital money and the national ID, we will truly be in a biometric digital prison. They want to bring in the Chinese communist system here. I know because I had a fight with the Chinese communists a couple of years ago. They turned up in St. Pancras Station making a propaganda film for Xi Jinping, and I disrupted them. It was a huge worldwide drama between me versus the Chinese Communist Party. I was contacted by MI6, who told me that I should not go to China because my life literally would be in danger for playing the piano. So my name is persona non grata with the Chinese Communist Party. And friends and patriots, that's what they want to bring in here. They want control. They want to control us. They want to micromanage us. They want to tell us what we can say. They want to tell us what we can eat. They want to tell us where we can go. They want to tell us what we can spend our money on. And it all starts with the digital ID. So my friends, my patriots, my fellow Christians, we must say no. No to digital ID. 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 Now we've repeated that a few times because Keir obviously has a bit of a thick head and he needs to hear it a few times. Keir, baby, if you're over there, please listen to the people. We do not what your masters are telling you to do. We do not want digital ID. So remember, this is the first step towards the digital tyranny. Joe Sixpack doesn't understand. He thinks it's all to help things be more convenient. It's to help us, identify ourselves with the police. But we know this is a plan. It's Agenda 2030. It is the New World Order. Yes, it is the beast system in embryo. So my friends and patriots, say no to digital ID. Restore Christianity to this country. And let's take our country back. God bless you all. And remember, no to digital ID. No to digital ID! 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 Keir Starmer, the people have spoken. We've said no to digital ID, and let's make Nick Tenkoni our next Prime Minister. God bless Nick. I'm such a fan of his. Join UKIP, and also I want to say thank you to Sydney and James Harvey, who I've been following from a number of years from when I was in Norfolk during the COVID. I'm a big fan of Sydney and James, and also young Bob. It gives me heart to see the younger generation be on the side of right, so God bless you all. Thank you very much, and thank you.
Now, we're almost finished, don't worry, we're almost done. Now, I've seen a lot of talk online, and I want to make it very clear. A lot of people are saying it's mandatory. It's mandatory. That doesn't mean you have to do it. Let me explain how this is going to go. Businesses are going to be required by law to make sure you have a digital ID. If you do not have a digital ID, you will not be able to get a job. It doesn't matter if it's only mandatory. They will put pressure on these businesses. They will fine them if they don't comply. We need any business owner watching at home. We need you on board. We need you to help us, the British public, say no. Today, since the announcement came last week, this is the first of the many protests against digital ID. There is one on the 11th of October. There is one on the 18th of October. And we will organise a massive demonstration in sometime in February. Are you going to be there? Yeah! Are you going to bring a friend?
Yeah! I'll bring my kids.
This is the start of a cultural and political revolution. We are going to successfully take our country back, one step at a time. Now it's going to work a little bit differently on the next demonstration, because there's no use shouting at an empty building at people who are too thick and too big-headed to care. So in February, it'll be on a Saturday, we're going to do an outreach march. We are going to walk through the streets of London, and we are going to hand out flyers. And then we're going to get to a stage where we will amplify the voices of the silenced. After that, we are going to travel around the country, and we are going to take our country back one constituency at a time, one area at a time. We are going to get the British public, the working class, on board to fight digital ID. It's going to be a long and it's going to be a hard battle, but it's a battle that every single one of us needs to take part in. The amount of people I have met today who are attending their first demonstration, or whose first demonstration was on the 13th of September, is absolutely fantastic. Everyone, give yourself a round of applause.
Big up Tommy Robinson!
Now, I'm going to bring on someone who's been talking about digital IDs 6 years ago, back when it was a conspiracy theory. But oh well, the conspiracy theories were right. Digital ID is coming in. Everyone give a round of applause for Piers Corbyn, brother of Jeremy.
Thank you very much. Well, what do I say? Resist! Defy! Do not comply! We can do it again later. It's okay. Fantastic to be here, and James, well done, really well done on getting this together. Quick round of applause for James. I dropped my speech then. Okay. Right, well, Jeremy Corbyn used to be my brother, and now I'm his brother. The main division in the world now is not left or right. These are labels to confuse us. What it's about is democratic accountability versus world tyranny. That is what they want. And Digi-ID is the end of freedom. I don't know what's going on over there.
Don't worry, let it just be.
Okay, we'll carry on. The police trying to make a distraction away from me. So, I've got two things to talk about. What is going on, and then
Guys, there's something going on. Would you like me to say at the speech, or would you like me to go and see what's happening?
Because while they demonstrate like
chat
this,
quickly if you
and
can.
we must do this to get the message across to the public. But while this is happening, and there's no new law of Digi-ID yet, we have council is bringing in the infrastructure for it. In Hammersmith and Fulham Council, they are installing thousands and thousands of facial recognition cameras now, ready to control you, monitor you, and along with your programmable currency, have you turned off when the Digi-ID comes in. So we're going to be going to Hammersmith Council on Friday at 12 noon, King Street, Hammersmith. Come now.
Round of applause. Come on, guys.
Yes.
Come on.
Because James is right. Talking to the empty buildings is not going to get far. We've got to relate to the public, tell them the truth, and go directly to the town halls where they're going to implement this tyranny.
100%.
Okay, thank you. Right, and the second thing I want to talk about is the tricks they get up to. You know, of course, they make up a story all the time. It's so convenient, isn't it? As I say on our leaflet, and I say, first of all, if you haven't got these leaflets, take them. And we do some more with more info. And we have some more at Hammersmith. But come there and fight. But they'll try a new story all the time. We know about the boat story, it's unbelievably insane. But they'll carry on. But the thing I think we have to be really worried about is them trying to sell it to us under the guise of Digi with rights. People that talk about Digi with rights, it sounds so nice, doesn't it? It's all right. It means you have a prison and you have rights in the prison. We say no to the Digi prison!
Yes!
And there's no compromise on this. We do not want even to talk about Digi with rights. We say no to Digi-ID. Stop Digi-ID, period!
Yes! Yes!
That's a good American phrase, isn't it? Period. Okay. So, what are we going to do to win? Well, as I said, the first thing is, it's a campaign of explanation, really. Leaflets explain to people it's the end of freedom. They tell their MPs it's the end of freedom. A lot of MPs don't care a damn. We've got to be practical wherever we can. It means you've got to resist, defy, and do not comply. And that might mean going to get arrested. Fine. I've been arrested 20 times since the start of all this stuff.
Big up your chest.
Keep it up, people say. Yes. But practically, put round of applause for me there, I like that. Practically, we've got to keep cash. Think about it. Think about it. Because once they get rid of cash, we are done. They want to have everything in digital cash. So we've got to go into shops where they're not keeping cash, demand they keep cash, and if they don't take it, take away the goods and put the cash on the counter and go!
Yeah!
And when I did that, it got 6 million hits on the internet. So you could get famous on the internet doing that. Try that. Try that. But look, let's be serious. Cash is the bottom line. So we can do that practically. There's other things they do, like, as we said when they were preventing us from driving, in the ultra-low emission zone. Drive at will, do not pay, and take down the cameras! All these cameras going up in Hammersmith and everywhere are to impose tyranny on us. So those who say take down the cameras, I say good on you.
Big up the Blade Runners.
Yes, big up the Blade Runners. Perfectly. Now I could maybe be arrested for saying this. I do not know. And I might get arrested for going on another demo like this again, because that's what they say. But we're going to have to go on these demos and face being arrested.
Thank you, Scott.
Okay.
Yes.
So a round of applause for you being arrested. Okay.
Make sure you have the pot noodle, not the microwave meal.
Yes, yeah. The all-day breakfast is, well, they're not nice, none of them are nice.
Cottage pie tastes like a whole bottle of Worcester sauces in it.
Okay, well, I think I better stop there. But let's say, look, we've got to be practical, we're going to have to take risks, and we're going to have to stand up for freedom. The choice is world tyranny or accountable democracy. And what you call the left and what you call the right are united on this. But I say, get away from those definitions. It's democracy versus tyranny, and we're going to win with the slogan, resist, defy, do not comply! Thank you, thank you, thank you. And go to Telegram, stop DigiID United! Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Come on, give him another round of applause. Right, so, Taylor's going well at the moment. We have got, so we've got Reese and Kate who are going to give a speech, and then we've got Miss Kent who have just found out here, who's going to be singing a song. So, yeah, let's bring on Reese and Kate. Everyone give them a round of applause, please. Come on, a round of applause.
Well, I don't know how you follow on from all of those great speakers, but here goes. Thank you to everyone for being here today. My name's Reese, and this is my powerhouse wife, Kate. It's an honour and a privilege to be speaking to all of you here today. Unfortunately, the circumstances in which we've been called here for are dark and bleak, to say the least. But we've all come here in the hopes of delivering a message of salvation for our nation and our people. For many years, strong conservative Christian leaders have been speaking of a time that would come in our nation. A time of terror and a time of where nations' leaders would usher in a new system. A system that would seek to digitalise citizens' identities. A system that would collectively centralise your identification, your passport, your bank, your taxes, the list goes on. But the system we see before us is now not that of a humanitarian benefit, it's a weapon disguised as digital ID. And how do they disguise it as? A solution for illegal immigration. A biblical prophecy from the book of Revelation, one that masquerades societal control as an anti-God society under a cloak of lies. We do not need a satanic form of control to fix the issues we see in our nation. We do not need a digitalised identification to stop illegal immigration. We do not need a godless, corrupt and evil government dictating to us how we fix the issues at hand. The answer has always been the same from the beginning: stop the boats. You might wonder what digital ID has to do with Christianity or God. You need only read a Bible to see just how much biblical prophecy is being lived out in real time. The Bible talks about enemy invasions of nations as a judgment to a nation that turned its back on God. The Bible talks about a mark of the beast, a 666 system that controls freedom of purchase, freedom to buy and sell. But be under no illusion. A nation that turns its back on God is a nation that leaves open a power vacuum. A vacuum that will be filled with evil forces that seek to remove every single one of your basic human rights. You will have seen out of nowhere a dramatic resurgence of Christianity at the Unite the Kingdom rally a few weeks ago. This is an act of God. You saw muscular Christians breaking strongholds, declaring the name of Jesus and calling this nation to return to Him. It is the only thing that will save this nation, transform our leaders and heal this land. What does Christianity say about all of this? Many believe that Christians are supposed to nut up and shut up and do as they are told. But the Bible says to pay what is owed in taxes to Caesar. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's and give to God what is God's. The Bible does not say, however, to blindly follow and sit idly by while its nation's government not only erodes but destroys the very foundations of its civil liberties. This is not a biblical and holy government under God. This is an evil, deceitful government. Christians are not called to tolerate evil. We're not called to make peace with it, but to cast out evil and hold aloft our God. Tolerance is not a Christian virtue, and the only way we fix this mess is by reinstalling strong, muscular Christianity back into the heart of this government. God has blessed us with one man rightfully fit for the job, my brother in Christ, Nick Tenkoni over there. together we can all restore our great land back to reason, back to common sense and back to purity, but that only happens one way, and that is under God.
Yes.
You did not vote for digital ID.
No.
It is not in Labour's manifesto. We did not vote for any of this madness that we see unfolding before us. We are called here today to revolt, to not comply with this evil and radical communist agenda. I'd like to end on this verse, 1 Timothy 5-8. But if any provide not for his own, and specially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Thank you.
Today, we aim to leave you with a message of hope, unity, and strength. That no matter what the enemy throws at us, we have everything we need in order to defeat them. Call me crazy, I'm almost glad that they have done this. Digital ID, COVID, BLM, woke ideology, because it woke us up. More lions are waking up every day. They are creating a Christian army and they have no idea what they have started. Many of you will have no idea. You'll think I'm nuts, but it's true. Everything that you and I stand for comes from this book. The truth we all grew up with, the foundations that built this nation. Charlie Kirk, a Christian conservative man, lived his life according to this book, and he left us a blueprint, a guide to combating the enemy. Jesus Christ left us the ultimate guide to life. We have the cheat codes. But if you can't quite relate to Jesus, take a moment to look at Charlie. Realise that his calm, respectful, honest and humble nature pierced their lives so effectively that they couldn't let him live. There is so much power in the truth. In a dark room, all you need to do is turn on the light and the darkness is gone. Light conquers dark. Good conquers evil every time. We hope to encourage purpose in all of you, to recognise that each and every one of us have an important role to play in saving this nation and protecting our towns and cities. There is more to you and your life than our government would ever want you to believe. God has a purpose for your life. You are not an accident. As WWCD, we aim to identify the next step and encourage you to take it. When we go home, the government won't have abolished their plans for digital ID. We know that. We also know that they may try to implement lockdowns at any time. We must prepare locally in our communities. Feeding the hungry, helping the poor, all come from Christianity. Schools, hospitals, charities, even some football teams come about because of Christianity. The Bible inspires care, support and strength in the community. What we consume, what we watch on TV, what we read, alters our minds and our actions. Cancel Netflix. Cancel your OnlyFans subscriptions. If you're still paying your TV license, get rid. Get yourself a Bible. Reading this Bible will change you. Wonderfully and inexplicably, it will change you. Reading this Bible will save your life. Amen. Amen. Oh, got my tooth out. Get your children a Bible. Wonderful, wholesome stories that encourage charity, kindness and honesty. as well as masculinity in males and femininity in women, and sexual morality. Get your children to church. The only place now teaching the truth is a God-fearing, scripture-led church. A top tip when choosing a church: if you see a rainbow flag, run. Homeschool your kids. Release yourself and release your children from the chains of worldly distractions. Everything has been designed to capture you, distract you, desensitize and numb you. The solution to all that we have been fighting is in these pages. Stand firm in truth and with strength and faith in God, and the walls that our treacherous government hide behind will come down. With God, for God, and in His strength, not ours. Ephesians 6:10-18. The armour of God. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in His mighty power. Put on the full armour of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the power of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore put on the armour of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything, to stand. Stand firm then with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. And with your, in addition to this, take up the shield of faith, which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions, with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Christ is King. Thank you.
Can we end on the Lord's Prayer? We all do the Lord's Prayer together. Does everyone know it? Our Father, who art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever.
Amen.
So thank you so much for that, guys. Now, we've been here for over an hour now, so can I ask for Miss Kent, if she's here, to come up on the stage. While she's going up to the stage, I've got to ask something of each and every one of you. And that's that we cannot do this alone. We can only do this if we fight together. This is a great start. And I expect there'll be a lot more on the 11th and the 18th, and this movement will continue to grow. But as we go across the country, as these protests pop up, please show them some support. We don't ask for donations, we fund this ourselves. All that we ask is that you share what is going on, you attend these demonstrations, you tell your friends about digital ID, and you help us fight against it. We cannot win without you. Let's show the government that the people are still in control and not the other way around. Now, Miss Kent, join me. Come on, give a round of applause, everyone.
Listen, some of that. Three.
Hello.
You're not going to do your new one?
We have actually. Everyone give a round of applause for Miss Pence. Now, funny enough, so as many of you may know, myself and Monty Toms from Together have been arrested and charged with hurty words. Those hurty words. So I'm going to end this demonstration on a song from a good friend of mine, a member of Students Against Tyranny, Nika, who has written a song about free speech, and then we can all go to the pub and have a few pints. So, yeah, I'm desperate for one as well. Right. Use yours. I'll lift it up now. Have you all had a good demo anyway? Yeah, we have. Listen, like a lot of people have told me that disheartened with the numbers. Don't be. You've all done absolutely fantastic for our first demonstration on a Monday bloody night. So give it all up. Well done, everyone.
Well, we're getting that ready. Some of you may have heard this in Braintree or Colchester, or maybe on a live stream, I don't know. If I'm annoying, I'm sorry. If you like it, you're welcome. Shame we don't have walks.
Be there in a minute, guys. Sorry about the delay. Technical problem.
Okay.
Alright, here we go.
Oh, the satisfaction of singing at this building is great, even if no one's in there. I know people are tired, we're all wanting to go home, we're wanting to go to the pub. There is a part of the Magna Carta stating every man and woman is facing crimes. There is a part of the Magna Carta stating every man and woman is facing crimes. To stand and fight. These basic freedoms cannot be granted or taken away. They're here to stay. We'll go on then. The right to travel, work and protest, education and their rights. Just do no harm. So go and speak your mind and free speech for all mankind. And stop locking up all my friends with speaking dirty words. Don't you have the real right to step and make the violence? Expect us to stay silent. Oh no, I don't think so. But that 1984 was bad, but dude, have you seen 2025? Here are our lives. With every passing day, our sovereignty is stifled more than ever before. Go and speak your mind and free speech for all mankind. And stop locking up all my friends for speaking hurting words. Why don't you hunt for real crimes and theft and rape and violence? Expect us to stay silent. No, no, I don't think so. Oh, it's saddens me to see the way that things are going. And liberties they try to take away, we should, we don't. and that is the entertainment part of the protest. Can you tell that I'm really tired? Like, really sick and tired of being oppressed? Now I'm getting the words wrong. Because this shit is getting to me. And I just want to be left alone, to be happy, to live a free life and stop being told what to do. Being a... Whatever. Anyway.
Come on, that's pathetic. Round of applause.
We love you, Nika! Woo!
Listen, I want to thank each and every single one of you for being here today. You can look your kids in the eyes and say, I fucking tried. I was here at the beginning of this revolution. Give yourself a round of applause, and I'll see you in the next one.
Big up yourself, James. Well done, mate.
Anyway, guys, it's all you've done well
I don't know.
Is it alright if we test it? It's on the stick. Alright.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to. We've got to get them.
Sorry guys, give me a second. We've just got someone who's a bit upset. Just give me 2 minutes.
Can I remind everyone, if you've got a sign, please leave it up here. We need them for the next demonstration. Thank you guys, thank everyone. We will have some that we can give out next time, but unfortunately we've got to keep these for the time being. So thank you. Cheers.
I'm tired.
You can keep the megaphones though. They're for you to take home. The signs we do need back, unfortunately. So thank everyone for being here.
It's nice to see you wearing my top.
I'm living on my own now. I'm trying to get all of these plans and my insurance is running out of me. Oh, and I was nearly like...
We haven't got a date yet. We're going to be announcing it very, very soon.
I've got my other phone as well.
Do you want to come down? Yeah, I'm gonna try and get some interviews, and then if people start walking, then I'm gonna do that. But come and find me if you need me. Alright? I don't care if I'm streaming. You come find me if you need me. Okay? Stay with someone you know. Stay with Wes. Where's comforter? Sorry about that, guys. Bless Nika. Nika was the girl that just sang, and I think that, to be honest, the whole surveillance thing is just getting to her. I've known Nika for a while. She's a very free-spirited person. She's very sensitive, and these kinds of things do get to her. So I just wanted to make sure that she was all right. But now it is time to try and do some interviews. So let's see. I'm going to try and look around for the people that spoke. I'm trying to spot Mrs. Kent. Yeah, I'm all right, Tara. Okay guys, I've lost Miss Kent and a couple of other people that spoke. Seems like people have cleared off pretty quickly, so I'm going to try and get some interviews regardless. Sid, can I quickly interview you? Is that alright? So we are here with Sydney Jones, fantastic independent journalist. And by the way, there was someone earlier who saw James on camera blow a kiss, and they were like, "Did James just blow a kiss to you?" I just want to clarify, Sydney was stood. Yeah, I just want to clarify, Sydney was stood right behind me.
Don't worry.
So
I was doing the same back to him. I just moved.
So, thoughts on digital ID and why demos like this are so important?
I'll start with demos like this being so important. We've seen, so people would have seen may have seen my activism in Norwich and in Norfolk, Suffolk for migrant hotels and asylum seeker hotels. In 2023, September of 2023, me and James exposed that families were going to be living there. Earlier this year, they said that it's July. They said the EDP, Eastern Daily Press, reported that it was going to be turned into an all-male migrant hotel. They protested this. It is now being refurbished into a normal hotel. So protesting works. We're also, we're not part of it anymore, but people are trying to do the same for the Brook Hotel in Bowthorpe, protesting every Sunday if you did want to attend. for digital ID, mass surveillance, does anyone really need it? We've got so many security cameras, we've got our phones, we've got a national insurance number, we've got an NHS number, we've got I haven't got a driving licence at the moment, but there are driving license. There's so many forms of identification. Rather than governing every single person to stop the votes, maybe we need to stop putting them into the hotels. Maybe we need to enforce our borders correctly. Maybe we need to actually crack down on people working illegally. Like someone said earlier, Uber Eats, Just Eat, all of the delivery services. If you look at the hotels, you can see them illegally working. Why don't we just do it the logical thing rather than something nobody wants, and just crack down that way rather than governing the people who already have a right to live here and have always had a right to live here.
Yeah. And with the recent crackdown coming on regular reoccurring protests, do you think that the best chance we have at resisting and reversing the government's decision with digital ID is practical resistance and making the system inconvenient for them to use?
I think probably the best way to counter it is to just continuously protest. They can't lock up everyone. They've already said the prisons are full. What are you going to do when people... It's just another way to silence everyone, and I don't think anyone's going to take it. We didn't take it during the lockdowns. We're not going to take it now. There's no difference.
Brilliant. Thanks, Sid. Go and give Sid a follow, guys, at Sydney Jones. Jono Jones 05 on X. Go and give her a follow. She does some amazing work. Let's try and find some of the people to interview. Wow, people have cleared off so quickly. That's insane. Piers, I need to interview you, pretty please. So, Piers Corbyn, obviously people were listening to your speech, but just for the people at home, what is the best way that we can practically resist digital ID?
The best way of practical resistance, apart from telling your politicians no, because you can't trust them anyway, but tell them no, explain to your friends what it's about, it's the end of freedom, but the most practical thing you can do is go into shops and insist on paying cash. And if they don't pay cash, boycott the shop, put up a notice outside, or take the goods, put the cash on the counter and go. It's legal tender.
And with the amount of people that have been doing activism on the streets and the amount of people that have signed the petition, what do you think our chances are at getting the government to reverse their decision?
I think we can win. We can win, but we've got to press on. You see, they lost doing Vax ID and all that stuff, but it's all steps towards the same thing. This is a bigger step, bigger fight back. We can win and we must win.
Do you think that maybe if lockdowns had continued on, they would have felt a need for digital ID? Do you think that this is maybe because, in their eyes, the lockdown and taking away of our liberties during COVID failed?
Well, if the lockdown had continued, they would have imposed Digi-ID on everybody then. So, whatever they do, it's pointing towards this. Every so-called crisis, they're using it to point to Digi-ID. The immigrant crisis, Digi-ID. Potholes, better communication with the council, Digi-ID. Look, it's insanity, but they'll use every crisis. We say no. And no, it's stop Digi-ID, period. We don't want Digi-ID with rights, because the rights will be taken away. We don't want a prison with rights. We don't want the prison.
Thanks, Piers. Thanks for giving me some of your time. Nice to see you as always.
You too, as always. Evesham is wonderful. There you are.
Cheers, Piers. We've got Piers' flyer here, everyone. Is it double-sided? It is double-sided.
And the leaflets, the posters.
Oh, you shall. Right. I'm going to try and get some more. Just disappear. I'm trying to look for some more people who've done the speeches, but it seems like everyone's just cleared off really, really quickly.
Emma.
Norman Mackenzie Richmond, director of Ofcom Watch, fantastic and lovely guy. What are your thoughts on digital ID?
Well, we're clearly against any type of government surveillance, and digital ID is government surveillance. We're obviously against any kind of censorship, and digital ID is going to make censorship, it's going to make it much easier for the government to clamp down on free speech, and it's going to allow free speech to again be restricted at the whim of a government, and digital ID will allow it.
And with the digital ID soon to be in place, and with the online harms bill, and obviously the work that you've done exposing the restrictions on Ofcom, do you think that the UK can still be considered democratic or free?
No. a long time ago, UK gave up any pretense to be democratic or any pretense to have free speech. We are in a tyranny in terms of free speech at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think our chances of getting the government to reverse their decision on digital ID are?
I think this government, 2.7 million people signed the petition, and they have just ignored it. They blatantly will ignore public opinion, and until this government is removed or collapses through absolute panic and scandal, then we won't have free speech again in this country. We need a new government.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks so much, Norman.
Thank you, Emma.
And go and give Ofcom Watch a follow on X, guys. They are constantly exposing the tyranny wrought by the off-communists, as we call them, constantly surveilling and controlling what we say online. Oh, is that you off now? Oh, can I quick 2 minutes, please? Okay, so we have Nacho from Stand Up X, and go on, just give us a quick rundown of how important these demos are and how important it is to resist digital ID.
We're seeing the resurgence of the freedom movement. Over the last few years, we've seen the power that the people have in terms of opposing the authoritarian mechanisms that the government tries to impose on us. Many people here have been aware that digital ID was looming for many years. Why? Because it's all pre-planned. These are all preordained plans that have been in the making for a long time. Digital ID, social credit scores have been part of the Great Reset and Agenda 2030, and they're finally here. We have an opportunity as the people of this country. This country once stood for the most fundamental principles of democracy, freedom, liberty, justice. This is the essence of this country, and we're seeing it eroded every single day. Digital ID may be the catalyst required. It may be the catalyst required to unite the people. We finally have an opportunity to unite people on all sides of the political spectrum, because many everyday people recognize how dangerous the proposition of a digital ID is. And you're going to see the resurgence, the reinvigoration. We're going to see an evolution of humanity. We will stand up. We're not just going to sit by and allow these governments to trample over our freedoms. We are rising up, and demos like this are so important to spark that collective change. So make it. Do everything you can to make it to the demos which you can. The next major one's on the 18th of October, Marble Arch, 1 p.m. Then we're going to have one on the 22nd of November, again Marble Arch, 1 p.m. And we're going to continue the momentum until we have millions of people back on the street. We are the people, we are the power, we are the 99%. Humanity standing up.
Brilliant. Thanks,
Thank you,
Nacho.
Emma.
And we have a sign here.
I'll see you later.
Oh, fuck, cool work. See you later, Nacho.
Quickly. Fuck all work going on.
Sorry?
You got to say it really quickly. Fuck all work going on.
Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. Oh, okay, I get it.
The government are doing fuck all. Fuck all work is going on.
Okay, can you just swear a little bit less?
No, it's not swearing. Fuck all.
Alright.
It's not swearing. I promise you, it's not swearing. Fuck all work is going on in number 10 Downing Street because the government don't give a fuck.
Okay, brilliant.
And they don't do much. They don't listen to the people. The people are being ignored. Massive petition with like 2 or 3 million signatures on it. Doesn't matter. Sod the people. We're going to do whatever the hell we like because we're the government and we don't care. And we fuck all care towards the people. There we go. Fuck all work going on in 10 Downing Street.
Do you think that digital ID and the resistance of it might be the one thing that unites the left and the right?
I don't think there is a left and a right. I think there's an up and a down, and I think people need to realise that because there's the top and the bottom. There are people saying, "Oh, this is a left policy, that's a right policy." You know, Reform, for example, are now talking about nationalising energy firms, which is something that the Labour Party said they were going to do and never did. Supposedly, that's a left policy. I would say that's a working class policy rather than left-right. You've got the rich. Super elite who are just mugging us off. We're paying the bills for it. We've got the most expensive electricity and gas in the world. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. We originally owned our own utilities. We sold them off for an absolute pittance. Thames Water was about to go bust, and instead of letting them go bust, the taxpayer have now bailed them out. I mean, it's absolute nonsense. They should have said, sorry, you've gone bust, we're taking it back from you, and given them fuck all. I didn't swear, I said fuck all. So that was a missed opportunity. So it's not a left and right thing at all, but the trouble is you get these labels that people are giving people. You know, you're far right if you think this, or you're far left if you think that. We need to get rid of those labels, and we need to start talking to each other, because there are lots of things that most people will agree with, and there are some things that people disagree with, but by and large most people are decent people. And all this name calling and far right this or racist that, it just shuts down debate, and because we shut down debate, the elites get richer and the poor get poorer, and it's as simple as that.
Brilliant. Thanks for giving me some of your time.
You're
What was your
welcome.
name, sorry?
Hi, through to you. Kingsley Hamilton.
Kingsley Hamilton, nice to meet you, Amanda.
Thank you, cheers.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, honestly, guys, I don't really care about the swearing. It's just I know that some people watch these streams when they've got, you know, kids in the background. I know that sometimes, for example, my mum watches these streams with my little brother in the background. And also just generally, at first, like when I first started the channel, even with the podcast, I was very adamant of like, no, I'm standing for free speech. I have to let people swear. But then I realised very quickly that the actual analytics of the post do go down. So basically, this stream is more likely to get out there and get more awareness if there's less swearing. It's just simply from that. I personally don't care about swearing. That was all that was, before people go all, you know, whatever. I don't know. Right, we'll see who else is still about. See if we can quickly get Sankoni.
You said that you said in your speech that you had to, like, you were struggling with a bit of money. I think you said that in your speech. Yeah. So I'm just, what is your question? Because I got fired from the NHS, DHU, a company called Derbyshire Healthcare United. I was concerned about children because there was a grown man lurking by school gates. I got fired for the NHS and DHU for racism, so now I'm jobless. I told you on the Twitter space as well, like, what is your message, and what would your advice be for those who are struggling with money but still want to join a political party? What would be your message for them?
What is my message to those who are struggling with money but who want to be part of a political party? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason why Starmer's in that building just over there is because his party returned a majority of votes in a general election. What does it take to achieve a majority in a general election? It takes an awful lot of money. That's called financing. It takes an awful lot of energy, resource, candidates, men and women putting their name forward to stand as these things what we call candidates in a general election. If you return a majority, you get invited by the king to form a government. If that happens with me and my party, we will deliver justice to Britain. We will get justice for the girls. We will begin mass deportations and remigration. We will declare war on far left extremism, the communists in our institutions, the perverts and the degenerates, the Marxists who have subversive malintent on our Christian brothers and sisters, those who are hell-bent on demonising the white man, Christians, those who have subversive intent on everything that we stand for and that build this country. All that for 30 quid a year. Now, if somebody turns around and says, I don't have that, that breaks my heart, and this is a question that's been put to me many times, and I wish there was more that I could do. Unfortunately, my pitch to the British public is I'm not here to save individuals, I'm here to save the country, and I'm here to reinstate Christianity back into the heart of government. So if you don't have £30 a year, and the classic tactic is to break that down into what that costs a day, which I probably should do at some point, because it's a very powerful sales pitch. But it's peanuts for what you're getting. No more establishment stooges, no more lies, no more flip-flopping. The real deal, mass deportations, remigration, and a wartime leader that's going to see through the blood, sweat and tears, and there will be blood. And no one wanted that on the right. We didn't ask for the war, no one wanted it, by the way. Look at the two-tier policing, look at the two-tier justice, look at the injustice that you've had to suffer, you've even said yourself. What can any one man do to combat that? You need to get back on the wagon as quickly as possible. You need to get the help that you need with regards to the tools, trades, learning, etc. It breaks my heart to hear your story. But if we begin mass deportations and remigration, we also re-engineer society. We set the tone that Britain is for British people. Everyone has their own country. Every country, regardless of colonialisation and takeover, has their own country. right to self-determination, etc. Not to be taxed into oblivion. I mean, I could think of them all evening, etc. So I don't want you to feel like it's over, and I don't want you to lose hope. But we need you employed. And we need to take out the rot. We need to begin mass deportations and remigration, which is going to free up all these jobs. See where I'm going with this, right? It all loops back to mass deportations and remigration. So I don't want you to lose hope or faith, and I'm very sorry to hear that you've been removed from your job, but it's not the first or the last time I'm going to hear that someone's been removed from the colonised NHS, and it is colonised. It's not a weapon of mass destruction, but it is a socialist. It's a
lefty stronghold.
It is a weapon of the state. The NHS in particular is a weapon of the state.
It's gone like full left wing, like you see these people with lanyards, rainbow lanyards.
Listen, there are nurses that have left the NHS who call it a demonic cult. They're the nurses that have left it who aren't even necessarily religious who call it a demonic cult. Those are their words, not mine. But come on, I mean, sycophant at best, possession, Stockholm syndrome at worst. We can't fund the NHS enough. We can't fund it enough. It's the golden cow syndrome. I don't know. It's madness. There's more than enough money for a functioning NHS and a world-class first responsive system. The institutions have been captured. You lost your job. And no doubt you were a victim as well.
And just to quickly say, then I'll end it, don't worry. In April 2025, I was unfortunately beat up, robbed, and nearly killed by illegal immigrants. And when I said when I didn't kill the names, I didn't call them any racist remarks. The NHS DHU said calling them illegal immigrants is racist. And when I had a bloodied up picture of me in a police report, a clinical staff said, "Don't you think that affects illegal immigrants?"
Keep talking.
And
James, have we got my bags?
And they also said, you need to prove you had a head injury. That's from a clinical staff. I was bloodied up with pictures. How am I supposed to prove I have a head injury?
So what I'm going to suggest, sir, is I'm not sure I heard a question there. So look, you've been jumped by what you're saying are invaders. So listen, it's really simple. If you get jumped by invaders, you've got to make sure that you defend yourself. We have a right to self-defense. We believe in self-defense, and you've got to give as good as you get. Now, if there's 10 of them and one of you, obviously this is problematic, right? So I'm very sorry to hear all of that. I don't really know where to start with it.
No, that's okay.
It just makes me really sad to hear that, because you're getting a really rough time at the moment. I wish I had something more intelligent to say. That just breaks my heart. But to be fair, you asked me that on the space. And it does break my heart. If you get jumped by invaders, then you need to defend yourself and you need to take care of it. But I appreciate if you're outnumbered, this becomes problematic.
And when I spoke to the NHS about it, why did they do that? And when I was speaking about Charlie Kirk reignited free speech, they laughed at me on a video call. They laughed at me. I was like,
And these people are the so-called doctors, nurses, again, the coveted NHS. They're well, I won't say anything more about it because it's problematic. But Brandon, listen.
Thank you for.
We need you employed. We need you employed, doing whatever as quickly as possible, mate. And I wish you all the best with that.
I mean, if you have any jobs that you can, I'll be happy to join.
I wish.
In Birmingham, maybe, I don't know.
1 second, Emma.
Okay, no worries.
So what happened to you in the migrant hotel? What happened at the migrant?
Should we walk? Which way?
So in April 2025,
Should we walk and talk?
I can walk and talk.
Which way did you guys want to go and get a drink?
Where was that? In
Birmingham, in Dudley High Street.
Which way are you going?
I was helping.
Whichever way you're going.
Because I was a bit down.
I reckon we go this way.
James is going that way. I'll just give her something.
James is going that way. Has he gone?
We can walk back.
Hello, mate.
I spoke to you on WhatsApp about which cannon.
You're gonna have to walk and talk, mate. Unfortunately.
Okay, so Nick, obviously we have the leader of UKIP and also COO of Turning Point here, Nick Tenconi. Now, from a Christian standpoint, do you possibly view digital ID as maybe the mark of the beast, like some people are saying?
So we are of the Christian worldview. I'm of the Catholic worldview. It's quite clear there in Revelation, referencing the mark of the beast. If you speak to person, just watch your back, guys, please. If you speak to person X, shall we say, he'll say that it was the Force State injectable. If you speak to person Y and Z, they have another idea. The truth is, I don't know what your question pertains to the mark of the beast. You're talking about Revelation. I don't know what is the mark of the beast. I don't know.
And do you think that practical resistance and maybe just simply making this system inconvenient for the government to use by simply refusing to comply, do you think that that's our best chance at getting them to reverse the decision?
No, you can't reason with psychopaths. We've tried apathy, we've tried indifference, we've tried football, we've tried godlessness on a Sunday, we've tried broken homes, we've tried abortion, we've tried it all. We've tried liberalism. It's been an absolute disaster. You can have freedom, and you can have rights, and you can have protection under social conservatism, which is our ideology. Liberalism and conservatism are nothing to do with each other whatsoever. Conservatism is its own ideology. So we've got my opportunity to give a speech tonight. As always, we've got protests, movements, lobby groups, think tanks, outraged patriots. The great British lion has awoken. It's absolutely fantastic, but there is still that final piece, which I'm always saying in these interviews, and will never stop saying. The political unity that people are searching for on the right is to be found in selecting and joining a political party backed by the leader of your choice, and in the policies and in the missions. So will Starmer listen to the protest movement? And there's lots of campaigning, lots of protests. Will Starmer listen? Will he care? Will anything change? Your question, nice and direct. Of course it won't. We all know that. If you want actual change, again going back to my original list, if you want actual change, you must return a majority, a parliamentary majority, and you get invited by the King to form a government. Now once you are in charge of that building that we're walking to right now, and that building back there where I would become a resident, you can start writing laws, you can start repealing laws, and you can start directing our institutions, MI5, civil service, to name but a few, the NHS, head of Metropolitan Police, to name but a few. Oh, and this little thing called taxpayer cash. You can start setting the tone of the nation, because culture runs downstream from politics. So great question, Emma. All of this works, and it's great to inspire people, but if you want your country back, you're going to have to do more than protest. You mentioned civil disobedience. It's not enough. Shabana Mahmood yesterday, I believe, that was coming, long time coming, going to start clamping down on protests. What does that even mean? What does that even mean, clamping down on protests? She's talking about protests at Invader hotels. She's talking about clamping down on the patriotic right. She's not talking about clamping down on Islamofascism. She's not talking about clamping down on the Islamic Caliphate, the snake. So, question, answer, what do we do? You've got to put your leader and your party of choice into that building, that's the Houses of Parliament, and in that building back there. And once you do that, based on missions, policies in the manifesto, then you've got a shot at taking your country back and at achieving justice for Britain.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Nick. Nice to see you again.
So welcome, Emma, as always.
Thanks, Nick.
Lovely to see you.
See you guys.
Can you say bye? If James is that way, can you say bye from me?
Of course.
Because I didn't realise we'd be leaving this late.
No, that's of course. No worries. Everyone's cleared off pretty quickly. See you guys. Okay, guys. So that was Nick Tenconi, leader of UKIP and COO of Turning Point UK. So he had to leave, so we were walking and talking. So I'm just going back to where the main protest area was. I think that everyone's cleared away now, but just in case if there is anyone still there, I'm just going to have a quick little look. I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight's stream. It was a little bit longer than I expected it to be honest. The speeches went on for a little bit longer than I thought. Sorry I couldn't get more interviews. I really wanted to interview Mrs. Kent. I also wanted to interview Sophie. I saw Dave Atherton here earlier, but I think he was only here for like 20 minutes and then he was gone. Everyone just seemed to have cleared off really, really quickly. So I do apologise about that, but I tried to get as many interviews as I can. By the way, guys, I am... tomorrow is October 7th, isn't it? Yep, tomorrow, apparently, I heard from Young Bob that there is a huge pro-Palestinian protest going on tomorrow on October 7th, which obviously, if you guys know what happened on October 7th, you will know that how wildly insensitive that is. You know, everyone has a right to protest, everyone has a right to have whatever views they like, but I do think that having that protest on that day crosses some lines. They have their right to protest. They can do, within reason. No violence. They can do whatever they want, really. But yeah, holding it on October 7th, that's clearly going to get a lot of people angry, rightfully so. That's going to get a lot of people feeling very furious. It's still, even all this time on, I say all this time, it really hasn't been that long, but all this time on since October 7th, it's still so raw. There are still hostages, families grieving. So yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting one. So I'm going to be live streaming that tomorrow. I'm not sure what time it starts, just off the top of my head, but as usual, if you follow me on X, I will always post when I'm going to go live. And yeah, so I hope that you guys all join me for that tomorrow. If you would like to support my journalism, you can make a one-off donation to my Buy Me a Coffee, or you can subscribe to my Patreon for £3 a month for exclusive and behind-the-scenes content. And this basically just helps me to cover the costs of equipment, upgrading equipment. For instance, obviously you guys recently know I've got my Netgear box now, which is why these streams have been looking better and less buffering. And it also helps cover the cost of travel to get to these places. Even just like, the other night when I was doing the pro-Palestinian thing, someone donated a super chat of £10. That literally covers my tube fare for about 2 days covering protests. So it really does, every little bit helps. Yes, and as Dev says, by the way, Dev was a fantastic moderator. Everyone say thank you to him for keeping the chat nice and peaceful. But yeah, so we are nearly at 10k subscribers. I haven't been doing this channel for long, maybe around 3 or 4 months, might be a little bit longer, but it really doesn't feel long at all. But yeah, we are nearly at 10k subscribers, and that is thanks to every single one of you amazing people, every single one of you that subscribed, liked, shared my videos, joined my streams. The fact that people choose my stream over other people's is insane to me, especially when I see people walking around with like these big cameras and stuff. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining. I'm going to sign off now, and I will see you guys tomorrow.